Hey guys. Okay, so some people fear that if $1 million, or excuse me, when $1 million is handed in each person's account who is African American, that the world will be unorganized. The structure of the world won't be able to handle itself because everyone will be splurging. Um, and then they feel like some people will, mess up the economy by not having taxes because they feel like the world won't go around, the world will be off balance, and the structure within America will be out of place. But if you think about this, nothing will be out of place if the system is changed to not be misplaced. Like once the system has a newer structure that is designed around itself and not depending on um, other person's extra assets. A system can depend on a person buying something, from them to make their money. But once they start working for dollars that come from the government, because the government gives each business a certain amount of money to pay its employees. So by them taxing each employee out of the money that they're already getting from the government to give to the employer, just defeats the purpose of fully paying each employer for working for them. Because the business itself has an owner who manages the building itself by the money that the owner gets from the government. So anything extra will just be going back into the pockets of the government for extra, but it also is coming right back into the system because it's going to be spent. So why not let someone who's working keep their money, because it's going right back into the economy to be spent, and they work for you. Now, if the business owner, because that's their business, now if they want to pay taxes to give back to the government, then okay. But you have to understand, not everyone gets hurt on a job. And I understand that some of that money goes for, they say, goes for resources for whenever you get hurt on a job. They take out taxes for here and there. But at the end of the day, most of your money is going to be coming out of your pocket, not your job. And if it was their mistake for your injury, it's still going to be on your doctor bill and on your credit. We'll talk about the credit later, because that is just all older ways of handling people's determination for being accepted by their standards. Because if a government has this money to give to you, say for instance, if you go to college, if the government has money to give to you as a loan and as a grant, then the government makes this money. The government has this money, they make it. So it will be defeating the purpose for giving it to them and then asking for it back, when you clearly see that this person don't have any money to pay for courses. So you're giving it to them, but then you're wanting it back, and now you chastise them for not being able to pay everything back, and now the credit is going up. But that just defeats the purpose of helping them, because you clearly make the money. So the government just makes the money. They just make it, So the richest people of the world, who are really in the family bloodline of controlling the money, have the option and the choice to get rid of credit, get rid of taxes, because it defeats the purpose of helping the person. Get rid of student loans, get rid of Pell Grants, because all information is free. It doesn't take anything to tell someone that, if you want this, I'm going to pay you. You gotta have to pay me $3 for it, or $10,000 for it, But having to put that person on a documentation saying that you're going to owe us because we gave it to you, we have it to give to you, but we also want it back. That's another story. If you're making payments on a car, make your payments on a car, and there should be no, you owe them this and you owe them that. If if you set up an agreement to pay them monthly and you didn't pay it, then okay, of course, yeah, you're gonna owe them for that month, or whatnot. Some people didn't even drive the car for that month yet, and they still owe them for that month, and they return the car back, but they still need that payment, But unless you turn it in right on time, you may not have to make a payment. But I want people to understand that the government has these things for you already. They can just make it, Not everybody's going to want the same thing. People are going to want different things. But, having, the people's credit score, the credit score would just be, a person's credit score should not even be existing, because that is another enslaved tactic to use to keep people, in poverty, and, just giving money away, because if you owe someone something, then you pay what you owe. There's no need for this to be on your credit and you trying to get, let's say, you trying to get something else, maybe some like an apartment or a home, and you need a good credit, and you owe this car dealership, but that's all that you owe. That's something totally different. But going to school for education and people's credits going all the way down, and it's not a good credit because of education that's really free and it's online, that defeats the purpose of helping someone. So that can go, the credit can go, taxes can definitely go. Now, unless you're going to the store and you're buying, like I said before, a bag of potato chips and it's $1 and tax comes to like 7 cents, that's fine. But if you're going to work for a business or a company or someone, in retail, fast food chain, department store, and you're getting paid to work per hour, and they want to take out money out of your check because of taxes, that defeats the purpose of them paying you, because you made an agreement to get paid $10 an hour, but yet it was $7 and some change an hour because they took out taxes, and this is why your check is very low at the end of the week or whenever you get paid. So yeah, that just defeats the purpose, because the government has given the business owner the money to pay each employee. Each employee, they get paid, and then the employer distributes the money and then takes out some for taxes. But at the end of the day, that person is responsible for their own food, for their own home, for their own transportation, for their own everything else. They've done all the work for you, and then they go home and have to budget and stress about how much more of a second job they would need, when that was defeated the purpose for them receiving that help from the first job, because they had everything on the first job. If they did not have their taxes taken out, they wouldn't have need the second job, and that's what happened. So that is definitely something that needs to leave. See you guys.